Pro Schmo community. All right, I had to make this video because too many DMs, too many audio calls, too many emails, too much bullshit in the last 72 hours. All right, I had to come on the airways here because simply, first of all, I was not behind Gillian Robertson's Instagram story. That has zero to do with me. I understand I have a cybersecurity background. I get you. That was not me. That was definitely her attempt and her associates, okay, the goblins, attempting to haze me, slander me, defame me, humiliate me, okay? And it has its purported justification, and we're going to get there, all right? You know, how this all even came about, right? The caption that you see on this video, 100% real. This is not for shock value whatsoever. Manel, Kape, Gillian Robertson, and death threats. I was on Instagram scrolling, and I see this page here, this page that you see, okay, publishing on Manel, Kape, and Bruno Silva's fight. I chime in on the comment section arguing for Bruno while everybody else is arguing for Kape, saying that Bruno's a cheat. I go in there to read about how they say that he was kicking, below the belt line 3, 4, 5 times, attempting to win the fight that way. When I make mention that absolutely the second kick was to the gut. And, I thought that was unfair advantage for Kape. He actually was given time, to get himself together by Keith Peterson. I thought that was very unfair, right? I also have a nose. I shared my opinion. I said I believe that Manel, Kape is stuffing his cup with gauze, okay? And suddenly you have one of his coaches, okay? His coach, Kleber Rapolo, responds on the comment section. And he goes so far as to say that I'm little, and he's 6'3", 270 pounds. Do I know who he is? So I offer him $10,000. I said, hey, let's resolve this. Let's do this. Octagon. I get the person, who could mirror and match your proportions, and we'll get it shaking, no problem. Disappears. Suddenly, it's a legion of DMs, phone calls, everything you could possibly imagine, voice chats, death threats. I'm on a FaceTime call now with his nephew, right? I tell him, hey, stop talking so much on the DMs and just get on the FaceTime. And he does it. And this is him. And this is where he threatens my life. All right? And take a listen real quick. Now, before we go into it, though, this does not have anything to do with the offenses. The reason I'm on this video is because, again, despite my cybersecurity background, I was not involved in Gillian Robertson's post. Everyone's asking me about that, right? I have absolutely nothing to do with that. Her intent to humiliate me, to make fun of using those graphics that she was reposting is deliberate from her and her associates. Absolutely, I have zero to do with it. All right? So now let's listen to this death threat. And we'll mention how Gillian Robertson comes about this, okay? Because it absolutely did not begin with her. And I hope we could put some context to this because I'm tired of going back and forth about it. It's ridiculous.
Most of the guys that you have pictures with, talk with them already. You are just a fucking clown, bro. We're gonna kill you, bro.
There you go. All right. So this is the nephew to Manel, Kape's coach. All right. Kleber Rapolo. All right. He wanted to see me in New York. Right. He said that I should be afraid for my life. And yeah, man, I mean, I received all sorts of DMs. All right. Severed hands, fingers that will go missing, kidnappings, all sorts of shit, guys, weapons. And then there's things that in discovery, was a bit appalling to find. All right. There's folks playing devil advocate here, too. There's sexual assault, violence. There's human trafficking, Florida gyms, guns that are being sold, drugs. I mean, it's crazy. This shit, man, I'm just a regular guy, folks. I'm just a regular guy who wanted to actualize his angles for sports betting with the general public. That's it. All right. So if you have a dream, man, chase it. Because look at this. This is crazy. This is getting big. So anyway, but again, it absolutely has nothing to do with the offense because, I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to have federal policing protection. All right. Not part of a witness protection program or none of that. All right. It's none of your business. But there's folks like Or Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick, who is going through the same shit right now, if you didn't know this. Miranda Maverick was threatened, all right, for her life by so many people this past weekend because she didn't submit Jamie Linhorth, because who knows for what reason, affecting her business, right? She did not publish a story at all after her fight, except to make known what she was going through. And I want people to understand, man, if you're watching this video and you're a fighter or you're a fan or you're somebody that is just tuning in for the first time and you're going through this, I want you to feel emboldened. You might not have the protection I have, but man, you have platforms now. You can make this very public. This is a surveillance state now. All the wagons and trains in New York City have hidden cameras now, surveillance cameras, right? Everything is traceable. Everything is pinged, like I did now in Discovery for all these offenses that you're hearing, that you're going to hear about right now. Oregon, North Carolina, burner phones, gyms in fighters from Florida. This is ridiculous. It's child's play. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. All right. And to the crux of my video, actually. All right. It's not the offenses. I could give a damn. I'm just trying to make clear. Like, I'm trying to clear the air because I don't have time to be explaining myself how this elite level fighter is publishing this nonsense, following how maybe most people would perceive that it's the highest echelon, it's the highest professional echelon in sports. And, I would expect that from amateurs or lower promotions, but not the UFC, right? Whatever. Sometimes your heroes could become zero. It's that simple. So I could care less about the offenses. It is appalling, though. It is appalling. It is appalling to see. But folks, man, one thing led to another, and I'm getting DMs now with mentions of me having stated that I had sexual intercourse with Gillian Robertson. All right. So, and that's why she's justified to behave like she was behaving and to have her goblins come after me. Now, here's the thing. I offered $10,000 for that too. I said, hey, if anybody could come up with writing on the wall or a video of me saying these things, you got your money. No problem. Here's another thing. My DMs are open. Gillian has reposted me several times in the past. My DMs are open. She did not reach out whatsoever. What she did was she came to visit my page, all right, on Instagram, and she was reposting the story you saw. Simple. That's it. All right. So I could give a damn. I'm disappointed myself at how all this was handled. It's very unfortunate, but it's very revealing too. All right. So the point, guys, Dmitry Sosnovsky, heavyweight prospect to the UFC, incredible, undefeated, kidnaps, all right, with his 4 friends, his constituents, kidnap an entrepreneur, assault him, extort $4,000 from him. The guy gets away. He's doing 8.5 years in prison. Nothing is what it seems, folks. Nothing is what it seems. Can you believe that? A professional fighter, $4,000, 8.5 years in prison, all his friends. For what? For what? Who knows, right? Just like this case, right? An Instagram comment, an opinion, right? It's going to happen to you. It probably already happened to you. Feel emboldened. Come out. Be public. Believe me. There's no dark places they can hide anymore. All these criminal syndicate groups, man, you have no idea how we webbed it all together. It's almost crazy. And it happens to a lot of people. It happens to media personalities, folks like Ariel Helwani. It's crazy. It is wild, the extent as to which all this shit takes place. You have people, friends, family members, mentors, fighters, right? For this context, right? For the sake of this context, who take ketamine daily, right? Hallucinogens, fucking amphetamines. I mean, don't be surprised by anything anymore. That's probably why I want you to see and hear this video, despite me trying to settle a few rumors with you guys, and also, of course, making known and having an understanding for what came about, because I know that was a bit of shock value to see me get reposted that way. I know you guys are probably laughing your asses off because you can't believe a guy like me. I'm just a regular guy. And now look at all this in my inbox. There's a guy playing devil advocate, revealing so much shit, pictures, videos, guys, guns, drugs, trafficking, sexual violence, domestic violence. I'm seeing pictures, reading text messages and screenshots. It's wild, man. It's really embarrassing at the end of the day. I don't want to get involved with none of that. Unless it finds me, then I have to respond to it. If it finds me, I have to respond to it. I have no choice. But it's ridiculous, all right? Folks, nothing is what it seems. But you must be emboldened, okay? Your heroes will become zero. You will go through crazy shit, but feel emboldened, man. Speak up for yourself. Do what you got to do. Handle your business. We live in a crazy world where things do not seem, do not appear to be as they should, right? So look at Joe Biden and his son Hunter, right? In the Situation Room, they in the bathroom to the West Wing, they find cocaine in the bathroom stall. They shut the whole thing down. It's embarrassing, folks. The president's son, right? You got things like Elon Musk right now seeking a top secret clearance. Elon Musk. Our government, our U.S. government said no. They disapproved it and they justified it. They say because you're a drug user. When the reality is, like these fucking drones, okay? Like the reality, okay? The reality is that he shouldn't even have a secret clearance, which is lower. And he wants to hire one because he wants to work at, he wants to be able to receive cables and sensitive information from SpaceX on behalf of the U.S. government and things of that nature. But unfortunately, folks, he may pose a danger or a grave danger to national security because the man should not even have a secret clearance, guys. So they're giving him a justification so he could shut up and so he's not embarrassed about the fact that he even possesses a secret clearance. Okay, the government is smart. They say, hey, just take this, because you're a drug user or whatever, marijuana or whatever you're doing, and run for it and run for the hills with that because, brother, you can't even afford to have a secret clearance. All right, you communicate with terrorist groups. In addition to that, come on, man, you have assets in foreign countries. You have associate acts with foreign nationals. It's crazy, right? It's wild. This place we live in is wild. People refer to it as a simulation. Folks, it's wild. And man, even with the UFC, there are associate acts of terrorism. I'm not saying the fighters, but there are associated acts. Believe it, right? It takes a while. I have a friend. I'm not going to say her name, but if you Google her, she just got busted. Smithtown, Long Island. Google this. You know what she was doing? The feds were probing her for almost 2 years. 2 years they were watching her. Let me tell you what her offense is. They just booked her. I don't want to say her name, but if you do the work, it's almost the same thing, right? Just look her up. It's unfortunate. I feel bad, And all she was doing was stamping designer clothes with markings for Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and repurposing them and selling them. Upwards of $40 million. $40 million. They busted her. All right. Sometimes it takes a while. It took 2 years just for that. Just for that. Selling designer goods, counterfeit designer goods. I'm talking about not that Chinese counterfeit. I'm talking American made, Italian. You understand? So they're taking fabrics to the T. They are replicating these items and selling them. All right, if you wanted a Louis Vuitton shirt that's costing you $2,000-$3,000, you're getting it from her, but for $1,000. You understand? China, you're getting it for what, $100? You understand? Anyway, I hope this all makes sense to you guys. All right, I really just wanted you to understand that we live in a wild, wild place, wild place, and sometimes you don't have the privileges that others might. You don't have the fortune that others might, but it should never deter you from being a bit emboldened, by being able to face it, headstrong. I also wanted to share, how ridiculous this all could be, right? The fiasco of it, and it could be consuming for some people. Hearing about Miranda Maverick, it really just, I think she's the one that really got me to share this shit. But hey, man, believe me, everything is traceable now. Everything is itemized. All right, nothing goes unseen. Believe it. You can't get away with it. All right, that burner phone, believe it. It has your name on it. All right, fellas, take it easy. I hope that that's clear, and I'll catch you on the flip side.